Hi, Cassie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing okay this week.
Good. All right. So tell me a little bit about how your week's been.
Um, it was good. It wasn't as bad as the last time I came in here. Me and my daughter didn't have any fights this week, but she did come around, like she always does. But we didn't fight or anything, so that was good.
That's good.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still just feeling a little like I'm not important. Like just my opinions aren't important, and she wants to just control my life. But
Right.
I'm starting to feel like there's really nothing I can do about that.
Okay. So last week we talked about doing a little bit of like recording your thoughts. So we went over like having you write down a situation, your automatic thoughts to that, your emotions, then the rational response, and then your outcome. Did you get a chance to do that part of that homework?
I did.
This week? Okay, do you want to kind of walk me through, here's a copy of the worksheet if you need it, but do you want to walk me through kind of what you kind of
You
wrote
want me
down
to
for
start
those
with the
things?
situation?
Yeah, what did you put down for the situation?
So the situation was my daughter coming over again unannounced. And when she came over, the first thing I thought was, great, here she is again, trying to take my things away, trying to control my life again, trying to throw away everything that matters to me. And again, that just made me feel really sad and upset that she was trying to take over, everything that I'm trying to do. And it just made me sad that she wasn't valuing that, my opinion matters. So like I told you, I didn't get mad this week. I didn't fight with her. I just stayed quiet and didn't say anything. So
Okay, and how did you do that? How did you manage to not fight or argue with her like you guys have been doing?
I guess it was easy because she came over this time and she didn't just immediately start throwing things away or start trying to throw things away. She just came over. She was saying stuff and asking why, talking about how it was a mess and everything, but she did it immediately. She didn't like throw anything away, so I guess it helped me to just stay calm and not get upset.
Because in the past, when she's come over and thrown things away, that's kind of produced immediate anger and negative emotion that you've expressed before. So this time, do you think she's kind of learning to have more of a conversation with you about it, or do you feel that it was just kind of a chance?
I think it was just, I got lucky. She didn't throw anything away.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, I think if she would have tried to throw something away, probably I would have responded differently, but she didn't, and I don't know what her reasonings for, and I didn't want to ask her because then I don't want her to start throwing things away, so.
Okay, so how did you feel about the outcome of that situation when you kind of thought through some of the responses and emotions?
I mean, I was happy that we didn't fight, but I still feel like there's so many unresolved issues, like there's still this huge problem between us. Like I know that I feel like we can't even have a conversation about anything else but my house.
Okay.
So, I mean, I really do want that relationship back with her and for us to be okay, but I don't know how to go about that.
Okay, and the problem started, you told me, remind me again when the problem actually started with the two of you.
I mean, it started when I started hoarding, which I told you was around the same time that my husband passed away.
Okay, that's okay. So when that event happened in your life, then you started hoarding things, and why would you say that, let me word this right. Why do you think that maybe you started hoarding when your husband passed away?
I don't know. I mean, at first I was just keeping his things, I didn't want to throw anything of his away.
Right.
I met him when I was 16 and fell in love, and it was love at first sight, I know people say it's not real, but it was real for us. Yeah. And we were together for over 40 years, and he passed away. But yeah, I didn't want to throw anything of his away. I didn't want to forget him.
Right.
So I think that's where it started. And then I would go out and, shop because I had nothing else to do, and I would see things that would remind me of him, or just I would like, and I would buy and keep, and I don't know, I was just afraid to throw anything away. I didn't want to lose any memories, so I just keep everything.
Which is understandable. I mean, he was a huge part of your life, and you said you met him when you were 16, and we're together a long time, so it would be understandable why you wouldn't want to throw any of those things away. So when your daughter tries to throw things away now that maybe aren't specifically sentimental to you, you said you feel disrespected and kind of out of control. How did you feel? What were the emotions that you were feeling when your husband passed away?
I was heartbroken. It was unexpected. He never had health issues before. And one day he just came in and one day he just had a heart attack and that was that.
Okay. Did you feel a little bit out of control?
Yeah, completely. I didn't know what happened, you know. He was healthy. He always took care of himself.
Right.
And that's it. He had a heart attack and died. I didn't have any time to cope with it. I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't see it coming.
Okay. So you said that you're initially kind of starting with the hoarding because you didn't want to throw anything away, and then you kind of started buying because you had control over what you could buy. So would I be incorrect to kind of make somewhat of a connection between those two things and trying to regain that control in your life? And this was the way that you kind of knew how to go about that, was through buying things and setting up your house the way you wanted it and kind of having that control over your life again?
Well, I mean, that sounds right. I think that, yeah, what you're saying is correct. I don't know. I don't know how to change, you know. I don't want to get rid of him. I don't want to forget him or anything.
Yeah. So that control, when you have control, how does that make you feel?
I feel like I'm still connected to him and I still have meaning in my life, you know. I remember how much he loved me and how much I love him, and, you know, that's it.
So the control gives you that connection to him. Can you think of another way that you could stay connected to him that wouldn't require the hoarding, as you and your daughter have called it?
I mean, I'm always going to be connected to him with or without the stuff. You know, I do know that. You know, I loved him for all those years. That connection's not just going to go away. But I don't know. I don't want to get rid of his things. You know, it's not, I mean, it's more than just staying connected. I want it around.
Yeah. Is your daughter asking you to get rid of any of his things?
She just wants me to get rid of it. She doesn't realize how much of the things I have remind me of him, or even if they don't belong to him, like they were important. They're important to us for somewhere. They just, or I mean, and even beyond things that are just about him, like some of that is just for me, but you know, it makes me happy, and you know, not many things make me happy anymore. So that's the one thing that has consistently made me happy.
Yeah. So buying things, collecting things, kind of having the things in your house gives you happiness and control. So those are kind of some core beliefs that you're holding, is that the control you have over your life makes you happy because you feel connected to your husband and all those other things. So, so that's kind of a core belief. So I have a little bit of a assignment that maybe we could do together to try and help, try to work on that core belief and kind of help with this problem of the hoarding, which is affecting your relationship with your daughter, which you said is your number one most important thing to you in this session. So there is kind of similar to last week, just a little bit of an assignment to you, and I'll kind of help you walk you through it. But so a schema is basically another word for a core belief. And there's this worksheet that says the core belief I want to change. So for you, that would be the control, which in your mind, the control is equaling happiness and connection to your husband. So there's two columns. There's support for this belief as to why you think that and why that's true, and then there's going to be support against why this is true. So maybe that control isn't always equaling happiness because it's leading to this dysfunction with your daughter. That could be maybe one example. If that's not true for you, though, you can write kind of your own. So I'd be interested to see if you think you could maybe do this week, and we could kind of go over this core belief and see if there's see what we can do to help improve that belief, and then ultimately the relationship with your daughter, which is the most important thing for us to work on. How do you feel about that assignment?
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean,
okay.
if it's getting me where I want to be, I definitely will try anything.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or work through today, or was that kind of enough?
I feel like,
Just
yeah,
something.
I mean, I haven't talked about him in a long time, so I
Yeah.
think I kind of feel a little overwhelmed, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to, talk about us, and yeah,
Yeah.
he was so important to me. So.
Yeah, that's very understandable. I'm really glad and honored to hear, that story, and it's kind of helping me to kind of connect some of the dots and just kind of help, with that. So it looks like last week went well with the not arguing as much with your daughter, but hopefully this week, you said you were still kind of suppressing some, feelings and emotions toward that. Like you wanted to say this, but you knew it would lead to that. So maybe this week, if you kind of go through some of these core beliefs and, kind of what you think about the pros and cons, maybe that can help kind of give you even more insight into what's going on beyond just the shopping or the hoarding or kind of whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Say that.
That sounds great. Thank you.
No problem. Well, thank you so much for coming in and, sharing your story with me, and I look forward to hearing from you next week.
Alrighty.